Hey everybody, welcome to Keep It Simple. It's our day number 23. We are going to be going back into working on strengthening the glutes and opening the hip flexors. Go ahead and join me on the ground for a child's pose. So I have a single set of 25-pound dumbbells that I'm going to be using today. We only have 3 moves that we're going to be doing once we get into our focused glute set and hip flexor set. So hopefully we can get quite a lot of reps going there. If you've done our other hip flexor opening and glute build days, pull your body all the way forward between your arms, flex your glutes. You'll know that the purpose here is to help build the glutes, strengthen those, because a lot of times they're weak, especially if you have a lifestyle that you end up sitting a lot. Push your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Our hip flexors get tight and our glutes get weak. So we want to strengthen the glutes and open the hip flexors to help keep a strong, healthy back, low back especially. All right. So throughout today, try your best to find and keep contraction of the core. So self-flexion in the core and then flexion in those glutes. All right. Bring your left leg forward, outside your left hand, drop it down. So here, we're already getting into that hip flexor opening on the right side. Put your foot back and then bring your right leg forward. We're also building in some thoracic rotation so our mid back gets tight. We're going to keep that at a minimum. Drop that back right hip, rotate, and then switch, drop, and rotate. All right, into our dead bugs. A lot of times as well with our core moves, we end up grabbing and utilizing the hip flexors a lot for core. And we want to try to eliminate that or at least minimize that. So grab deep into the abdomen, slide the shoulder blades down. Of course, we want our hip flexors to be strong and working, but we don't want them to be taking the brunt of everything. Push that low back into the ground. You get out of dead bugs what you put into them. So really focus, really concentrate. Build that flexion. Here's start of 6. Flexing your thighs, flexing the feet. 7. 8. 9. Lock and load. Keep it there. And 10. Oh, yeah. All right, hug those knees in. Good little round through that back. And then roll yourself up. All right, let's take a nice low squat. Get those hips open. You might need to kind of shift side to side, drop one heel and then the other. See if you can eventually settle so that your heels drop all the way onto the ground. Get that ancestral squat. Okay, and then we're going to keep our hands on the ground today and stretch the hamstrings. So lift your hips up, stretch those hamstrings. Let's inhale on our drop. Exhale and lift. Drop as deep as you can. You can grab one of your weights if you need to kind of help give support or lift the ground up to you. I did not used to be able to get my hips low in this low squat and keep my heels on the ground. It's taken a lot of time. I'm still working on it. I'm still pretty wide with my base. And a lot of it has to do with my flexibility or lack thereof in my calves and my ankles. So it's good to build this in. This is also good for your low back. I have a knee thing that creeps up every once in a while. If I get into these ancestral squats, it goes away. A lot of issues that I have actually in the lower body go away when I get this low squat going. All right, last one. Okay, and then we're going to do our lunge and lean. Okay, so here again, we're going to get that hip flexor stretch So step back, lean up and over. So learn how to get your hips tucked under, pulled through so that the front of your hip flexor opens, that hip is open, the knee almost pulling forward, but you are pushing up from the front leg. Double check your core, push through the front glute. So open hip flexor, push with the glute. Double check. Can you grab that core any deeper? 8, 9, and 10. Okay. Spider lunge. Take your legs nice and wide. And then slide over to one side. Get your stretch, inner thigh. Again into your back, your hips. Slide to that other side. Back to your first side. And then the second. Okay. Let's hit up those push-ups. Lock your belly. Find your plank position. Drop your chest to the ground. 10, 9, 3. Keep your head still. And 1. Drop all the way down. And then we're going to get our Superman. Okay, set it in. Feel that low belly grab. It's kind of weird to hold that core and still be able to arch backward. Get that back extension. It's super important. This is a great way to build your glutes as well. 3, 2, and 1, because you're using those to lift your legs. All right. Oh, this feels good. Quick child's pose. And then we're going to get our tricep push. So on the wall, or if you have a box, set your hands, find your core. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Scan the body. Keep everything strong and tight. Feel those triceps push you up. 9 and 10. All right. Down onto the ground real quick. Set your feet just outside your hips. Put your arms out wide. Relax your head on the ground. Rotate your knees to the left. And then put your left foot on top of your right knee. Just a little stretch through that hip flexor and hip on the right side. Release, grab the core, and then bring your knees. Make sure you reset. And then bring your knees to the right. Right foot on top of your left knee. Oh, feel that stretch. My hip flexor open, pulls all the way into that side of my back that gets a little tighter. All right. So I think we're going to have time to get plenty of rounds done. Very excited. Just these 3 exercises we're going to add into. Okay, so you're going to start off with a weighted glute bridge. I'm just going to take one of my 25s. If you want to figure out how to get both of your weights up there, be my guest. All right. Tuck in, find that core flexion first. Make sure that your toes are straight ahead. And at the top of your push, your heels are going to be right underneath your knees. So up, push all the way up, find your glutes, find your core, and now we'll go up and down. We're going to go for 20. So here's 1, not too fast. 2, we really want to open the hips and tighten those glutes. 5. Big, beefy, meaty part of your booty. It's not just for looks, which is good. We're here for health. We need this big powerhouse to help hold the pelvis where it needs to be. Keep the low back healthy. 19, 20. All right. At the end or between every exercise, we're going to take a quick hip flexor stretch. So slide in, get that hip flexor open, switch your legs, slide in, get your hip flexors open. Okay. This is a health day, getting the body healthy and balanced. Okay, we're going to go 20 deadlifts. You can go for whatever weight you would like, toes straight ahead, whatever range you would like. Okay, so hinge forward. Make sure you can find your glutes to bring you back to the top. Your knees stay soft. They have to bend slightly in order to get your booty to go back. So just like when we stretch our forward fold for our hamstring stretch, we want to hinge from our hip creases. Then you want to utilize, like I said, find that self-flexion, self-grab through the glutes to push the body up using your glutes. Opening the hip flexors at the top. So it's interesting because deadlifts can bother some people's backs. They don't want to do them. However, kind of paring it back, peeling the onion, taking it one layer at a time, you kind of want to be able to develop your deadlift. You don't have to go super heavy because it actually is a super good exercise for your back. One more. Beautiful. Okay, we're going to stretch those hip flexors. However you would like. I'm going to keep my knee up this time. Little bounce, switch, and bounce. Okay, we're going to do a Samson lunge hold. Okay, so it's an isometric move. I'm going to go weighted. You can go unweighted if you would like. Okay, so the goal is to get into the front glute and open the back hip flexor. So you set up in a lunge position, feet are hip width, drop down so that your back knee is right underneath your hip and the front knee is right on top of the heel, and then flex. Hold 5 seconds, which we have. Push up. We're going to go for 5. Drop in, find your flexion. Pull the front heel toward the back toe and push. Drop, flex. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. That's 3. Get into that glute. Open the back hip flexor. 3, 2, 1. Woo. One more. Isometric grab and flex. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ooh, that got tough. Go body weight if you need. Here we go. Drop, contract. 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There's set 2. 2, 3, 4, 5, 3. Glute, front leg, open the hip flexor, back leg, 2, 1. One more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Woo. That should be much more difficult than you anticipated. Drop onto your knees if you can. Bring your hands behind. Push your hips up. Open your hip flexors. And then we're going to flip over and start back at the top. All right, I got my heart rate up a little. Those Samson lunges. Here we go. Weighted glute bridge. It's all about building. Make whatever adjustments you need. Seven, we're opening the hip flexors, building the glutes. Make sure you're not overarching your low back. That's not what we're here for. Is maximum hip height. It's flexion, contraction, and control. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right. We're going to keep one knee down. One leg comes forward. Tuck the hips. Slide forward a bit. And then switch. Shouldn't take long. Figure out which side might be a little tighter. And mine goes back and forth. All right, here we go. Back to our deadlifts. Brace the core. I like to inhale down, exhale up. Those kettlebell swings we did yesterday had the same effect. Grabbing glutes, opening hip flexors. 9, feel your belly button pull back as you hinge forward, especially if you're feeling any low back pain. Grab the core more. 20. All right. Low lunge. Keep your knee off the ground this time. Bounce in a little. Switch. Bounce in. Okay, now comes the tough one. Our Samson ISO. Whew. Set up your stance. Drop and contract. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And drop. Push up. There's 2. Glute on the front. Pull your front heel back toward the back toe. Push. There's 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more. Get your core going. 2, 3, 4, 5. Lots to think about. Upper back. Strong core. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pull. Okay, drop. Pull your front hip back. Back hip forward. 3, 2, 1. Ooh, the second side, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lock and load that belly. 2, 3, 4, 5. Can't remember if this is 4 or 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more just in case. If you've kept track, you can be done. 3, 4, 5. Wow. Whew. Those build. All right, drop it down. Sit back. Push those hips up. Shoulders back and down also. You got it. Back onto your back. Here we come for our weighted bridges. These are actually one of the best ways to really make sure you're activating the gluteus maximus and building as much as you can, isolating there. There's a lot going on in the body, core, hamstrings. Barely tap the ground. 11. Stay mindful of your core and your glutes as you lower. Don't let them go. They're still working. Ooh, I really got them going this time. We have found that glute connection. 19, 20. Oh, all right. Find that kneeling position. Back knee tucks. Tuck the hips. Slide forward. Other side. Tuck the hips. Slide forward. Good work. Deadlifts. Woo. Strong belly. Find that stack. Connect with the glutes. Keep the rib cage lifted away from your hips. 18. Squeeze your shoulder blades. 19. 20. All right, long runner's lunge. You're doing great. Feels good. Switch. All right. Time for our ISO Samson lunge. Switch your first leg if you remember. Brace your back. 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, you're here for front glute, back hip flexor opening. 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 4, 5. Last one. Watch your low back. ISO exercises are up to you. Get out what you put out. Stay with it. This is it. Last one. 5 sets of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Drop, tug, bind, that heel to toe, pull, push up. 2 more. Drop. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, done. Woo. Okay. Sit on your haunches. Set your hands behind. Push those hips up. Well done. Open the chest. Perfect. All right, bring that left leg forward. Sink your hips in and down. Feel that back hip flexor open and stretch. Shift your hips around until you find that best stretch. Whew. There's mine right there. Then breathe. Regulate the breath. Okay, with your right hand, see if you can grab your right foot, open the chest, push your foot into the hand, and then open that hip flexor back to the ground. Having a nice flexible quad, stretched quad also helps to open those hip flexors. Again, make little adjustments, find the stretch and the best spot for you. Okay, release. Hinge back, level off your hips. So pull the front hip back, back hip forward, squaring off. Open the back of the knee, find your core, and then reach your chest towards your toes. Slow build, but we definitely got there. You have to be methodical, train for balance. Okay, fold your leg over, pigeon. If pigeon doesn't work for you, feel free to head into your figure 4. But the biggest deal here is to level off your pelvis. So that usually means, so if my left leg's forward, I need to drop my right hip a little lower to the ground. Like I said, train for balance. You want to make sure on leg day, or when you're doing legs, lunges, squats, plyometrics, that you're not constantly sore in your quads. We have a tendency in our culture to go overboard in using quads for all of our leg moves. And we really need to get back to where we can utilize and recruit the glutes and the hamstrings. So that's why I like to take these days. Okay, switch it. Right leg comes forward. Take these days and really focus on isolating the glutes. And again, that combo is opening the hip flexors. So this is your balance, right? You get one a little better with the other. Again, make those little adjustments, little twists or shifts, wherever feel good for you. Okay, and then you're going to take your back foot and grab it if you can with your left hand. Open that chest, push into the hand with your foot, and then open that hip flexor. Also, if you flex your antagonist muscles, you get a better stretch. So our antagonist muscle here is our glute. Oh, flex the glute on that left side. Man, you feel that hip flexor open, quad stretch. Still use that core. Protect your low back. All right. Hinge back, get your hamstring. Pull the chest towards your toes on the front. Reach in with that chest. Remember, you want your hips leveled off. Long back. I got a shaky leg. So here, if you flex your quad, your hamstring will open a little more. Pretty crazy. Okay, cross your foot to the other side of the mat. Flex your foot. Square off the pelvis. And then slowly walk your back knee back so you can get as long and deep of a stretch as you would like. You can stay on your hands. You can drop onto your elbows. Find your breath. Settle in. Be proud of yourself for making it to your mat, getting your workout today, strengthening your glutes, opening your hip flexors. Think about it throughout your day, depending on your lifestyle. If you do end up sitting a lot, try to stand occasionally and take little standing lunge stretches. I'll show you what that looks like here. So stand nice and tall. So stand up every once in a while from your desk. Whew. Okay, open your hip flexor in the back and just get a little lunge in the front. So you flex your glute, open your hip flexor, lean it back, just, 5, 6, 7 seconds. Switch to the other side. You can do it in a suit, you can do it in a dress. Would not suggest doing it in the heels. Perfect. All right, as always, it's a lot of fun, and I'll see you tomorrow. Keep up the good work.